Yes, so today we will start with another. Okay, did I start with random?
Yes, ma'am.
What did I complete in random functions?
You gave a little introduction, and we did two programs and some little inputs, and then we saw random numbers, how it generates.
Okay, so we'll continue from there only. So we had done two functions. One is the random function, which generates random numbers from zero point 0.0 to 1.0. Okay, and it returns random numbers in the form of floating point numbers. And there was another variant of this function where we were using the same function for generating random numbers in a range. That is, if you have A and B as the range, where A is the lower limit and B is the upper limit, in that case, it would be like this: random multiplied by B minus A plus A. And this was also done in this way, that is, A was inclusive but B was not inclusive, and the number returned was a floating point number. There is a third variant, that is rand int, which takes two arguments, that is like this: A comma B, where A is the lower limit, B is the upper limit, and the random number which is returned, it is between A and B, with A and B both inclusive, and the random number returned is an integer. Okay, so this was what we had discussed in the previous class. Today we will see some practical implementation, some questions related to random and random, some questions which you get in your board exams. Okay, so just a second, I will just insert the image. Okay, so I have a question here. Everybody just pay attention, okay? You can see the question, right? Given the following Python code, which is repeated 4 times, what could be the possible set of outputs out of given 4 sets? Now, DDDD after every number represents the number of digits after the decimal point. So that is not important. That's why DDDD is given over here. Now you have to take a look. Firstly, import random. Second is print. This is the main statement. Okay. So print 15 plus random dot random into 5. So first you can see that the statement is somewhat like this. So here you can see this is an expression, and because it's an expression, we will first start with evaluating the multiplication, and for multiplication, before multiplication I need to execute the statement, that is random. Now what does random function return? We already know that random function returns any floating point number, that too within this range. So it enters, inserts, that is minimum number which will be inserted will be 0.0, and maximum number which will be inserted is 1.0. Now it is not possible for us to speculate which random number this function is going to generate, because there could be numerous values between 0.0 and 1.0. Okay, we cannot fathom all that. So we just have to consider the lowest limit and the higher, that is the upper limit. So this random function gives us the any values between this range, where 1.0 is exclusive. This value is exclusive. It is not included, but 0.0 is included. Okay. Next is, we will multiply this by 5. Why? Because there is a multiplication sign in between, and multiplication has higher priority than plus. So when I multiply it by 5, then what will happen? If I multiply 0.0 by 5, it will be 0.0 only. And if I multiply this by 5 by 1.0, that is the upper limit. So it would be 5.0, where now my range has been stretched to 5.0. Earlier it was 0.0 to 1.0 only. Now it has been stretched to 5.0, but 5.0 won't be considered. Instead, 4.99 something can be considered as the last value, right? Next is 15 plus, that is whatever is being generated, 5 is multiplied to it, and whatever is it, that is this lower value to this upper value, we have to add 15. So when I add 15 to 0.0, the lower limit becomes what? 15.0, and my upper limit becomes what? It becomes 20.0, because I am adding 15 to this 5. So now my lower limit is 15.0 and my upper limit is 20.0. That means any number which is generated, 15 will be included in that and it won't touch 20, right? So now, keeping this in mind, we are going to start with elimination of options. This is how we solve such questions, by eliminating the options. Okay, we start with the first option. So you can see in the first run 17 point something is generated. Does 17 fall within this range? I can see yes, 17 is greater than equal to 15.0 and less than 20.0. So this is correct. In the second run, 19 point something is there. Is 19 correct value? Tell me, does 19 fall within this range?
Yes.
Yes. So it is also a correct value. Then we have 20 point something. Now 20 is not to be included because it is exclusive value. Any value generated should be less than 20. So this is not there. So the moment one of these options, the moment one of the values is wrong, that means you are going to reject this entire option. You don't even need to check the next value, although the next value is included, but there is no sense in checking the next value because the whole output has been given. Either this whole output will be generated or no. Okay, so the moment one of the values within each of these options is false or wrong, the entire option is rejected. Coming to the next one, we have 15 point something. Yes. We have 17, yes. We have 19, yes. We have 18, yes. All options are correct. So this option is considered. Coming to the third option, because such questions, possible set of outputs, it is given, right? So it is quite possible in these type of questions that you have more than one correct options. So you have to check the options completely. Next is 14. Tell me whether this value will be generated or no. 14. Anyone can give me the answer.
No.
No, 14 will not be generated. 16. It is
Yes.
generated, but because one of the values is wrong, we can see that two values are wrong. This is wrong, but these two values are correct. But because initially itself it is wrong, hence I will be rejecting this option. Next, come to the fourth one. Yes, tell me whether this option will be accepted or no.
Yes.
Yes, it is quite possible that in all the 4 runs, I run it 4 times and all the 4 times 15 point something is generated. So now what are my correct possible outputs? Option 2 and 4. And what is the lowest value for this expression? The lowest value is 15.0 and the highest value is, it will not be 20.0, it will be 19.x. Now x represents any place after the decimal point. Okay, that means it should be something like 19.999. That will be your highest value. Is this clear? Please write it down in your copy, and I will be giving you one more question which you will be solving on your own. Please write it down, and once you write it, please let me know that you have written. Question is already in the book. It is example 4.1. So don't write the question, only the solution you write. How you will solve it. And for all these questions, we will follow elimination of options. Okay, we will first roughly execute such. Now we cannot execute these, or the dry run is quite unpredictable. So what you need to do is you have to consider all possible options. That is, you will be first considering the lowest value which is to be generated, and the highest value which is to be generated. And based on that only, you will start eliminating your options. So I'm just taking the attendance. Okay. Students, if you complete it, please either through chat, let me know, or unmute and let me know that you have completed it. Or I think it would be better if I send you a screenshot. Okay. Yes, I'm sending a screenshot. I've sent a screenshot. Okay, now next question. I've sent you a screenshot, students, so you can write it at your own pace. One second. Okay. Next question. Solve this on your own. Read the question. Solve this on your own. Only two things have been asked. What could be the minimum possible and maximum possible numbers by the following code? Stopping the share because I will send this question to you. You will solve it and then I will switch it on. Yes, check it. Yes, Pradyum will check it. One answer I already got. Let us check the others also, what answers they get. It's better I'll share the screen. Okay. So random, now randint function is used. Okay, and we know that randint function generates any random number within a specific range. So here, what is that range? 3 is, we can consider 3 as A and 10 as B. Okay, and here the type without any decimal point, 3 and 10 both will be lowest value will be 3, up highest value will be 10. Now minus 3 is written. How will you represent minus 3? So if you deduct 3 from this 3, you will get 0. Students, are you able to hear me properly? I'm getting a bad network quality message here. Is everybody able to hear me? Please give me a thumbs
Yes,
up or a written message. Mohit, Chirag, Pradyum, Aishwarya, are you able to hear me?
Ma'am, now it is clear, but when it was breaking.
Okay, that's because I got a bad network quality message also over here. Okay, so all good, fine. So here randint function, I'll repeat what I said. Randint function generates any random number within a particular range, but the upper limit is included and the number returned is of integer type. So here because 3 and 10 is given, 3 is A and 10 is B. So 3 is the lowest value, 10 is the highest value. But after this we have a minus 3. So if you deduct 3 from this 3, 3 minus 3 will be 0. And 10 minus 3 will be what? 7. So now what is my lowest value? Lowest value is 0, and my highest value is 7, Pradyum, not 0 to 6, because upper limit is included in randint. We are seeing randint function now. In randint function, upper limit is included. In random function, upper limit is not included. Okay? Please,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sending the screenshot of this also. Yes. Now. Next question. Next question is a programming question. In a school fest, 3 randomly chosen students out of 100 students having roll numbers between 1 and 100 have to present bouquets to the guests. Students randomly. Function here, I can use random, I can use, because roll numbers are usually what? Whole numbers. They are integer numbers. Out of the two will be most suitable. Which one should I use? Random or randint? I have to generate 3 roll numbers between 1 and 100, which are going to be. Either you can go the long way using the random function. Okay,
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
and okay, just a second. Let me check my network. Wait a second, I'll have to keep it somewhere. Wait. Yes, hello. Is it okay now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. To choose 3 random, either go the long route, that is generate the random number, multiply it by 100, then truncate the points or round it off to 0. You can do that also. Okay. Create your program. Other method is use the randint function, which automatically generates random numbers between 1 and 100. Okay. Now the thing is, using the randint function how many times? 3 times. So it is quite possible that all 3 times the same number is generated, or numbers are same. Okay. This is the This is a small I'm giving you. Either all three will be the same or any two numbers would be the. So what I need is I need three students and three distinct roll numbers I need. Okay. So I have to also make sure that the roll number of A, B and C are three different values. Okay. So what am I going to, which technique am I going to follow here? So just pay attention. Start, I'm just drawing a flow chart here. Okay, I'll start the program and here I will be entering the upper limit, or I will be just specifying the upper and the lower limit. So A is 1 and B is 100. Okay, after doing this I'm also going to generate the first random number, that is num1. Okay, I'm not going to use any specific programming language. So I'm just writing here generate a random number. Okay. I have written it in layman language, that is common English language, generate a random number. Now I have to make sure, now what I have to do, I have to generate the second random number, that is num2. So I have done this also, but now I have to not be equal to num1. So for that, I will be using a condition, and this is a decision box which I have created here. So in this decision box, I will check. Here I have used the single equal to. Why? Because I am not using any particular programming language here. Okay, I am simply concentrating on the logic of the program without thinking about the syntactical rules specific to any programming language, right? So I'm checking, is num2 equal to num1? So if num2 is equal to num1, I need to generate another random number. If it is yes, then again my program control will go back to this statement, that is num2, and it will generate another random number. Again it will check whether that random number is equal to, whether num2 is equal to num1. तो जब तक num2 num1 के equal आता रहेगा तब तक num2 generate होता रहेगा. Got it? The moment this condition is false, that means num1 and num2 are two distinct values. The program can now proceed further. And now I'm going to generate the third random number, num3. I have generated the third random number. Okay. So now I will again check. Now my this roll has increased. That is, num3 has to be checked whether it is equal to num1 or num2, because num1 and num2 are already generated. ये तो I am generating num3. Now it is quite possible that num3 could be either equal to num1 or num2, which I don't want. Again, I will be drawing a decision box and I will be checking num3 equal to num1 or num3 equal to num2. Even if num3 is equal to either one of them, okay, num3, if it is equal to either one of them, that means you have to regenerate num3. So if this is yes, again you will regenerate num3. Okay, and you will continue doing this till num3 is not equal to either of them. So when this proves false, then you will proceed further and you will print. I'm drawing an output box here. You will print num1, num2 and num3. Because now I am sure that there are 3 different random numbers and I can stop the program. Just take a look at the program over here. You can see we first specify that this is a process box, students. This is a start or stop box. So you have a similar box at the end of the flow chart. This is a flow chart which we are drawing. This is a process box. This is also a process box. Process box contains those statements which are assignment statements or which are some statements which involve processor's role. This formula application, okay, or any expression or any assignment statement, that all those statements will be specified within the process box. This is also a process box. This is a decision box. Why? Because any kind of decision when I need to take. When do I need to take a decision? When I'm using if statement or while loop or for loop in my program. So here this is what it's forming a cycle. That is, it's forming a loop. So here I have used a decision box. If condition is yes, again go back. What does while do? While condition execute statements. So while the condition is true, go on executing the statements. So it forms a cycle. You can see through the arrows here. Okay. So this forms a loop. The moment this condition is proved false, the program control flow will move to the next statement. This box is again a process box. This is a decision box. And this box is an output box. Input box is almost the same, just it is oriented in the opposite direction. And here again stop, we have the start or stop box. So this is a flow chart and it is very handy when you have to decide about the logic of the program without having to worry about the format of the program code. Okay. So now this flowchart is in front of you. I want you all to be, can you write a program for this? You should be now able to write a program for this.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is left as an exercise. Although I have the program, but I will not give it just like that. You will be writing a program. So do it just now. Let me see if I can just give it to you. Yes. So I'm just going to take a screenshot and I'm sharing it over here. Yes, I have shared it. Quickly write the program and share your answers here. For this, I am exactly giving you all 3 minutes. So your countdown has started. Hurry up and show me the answer. Less than 1 minute. Yes, time is up. You don't need this else condition, okay? It will automatically break if the condition is, the condition becomes false, okay?
No, ma'am, it is
Program
while.
is correct. I know, while true, but you can simply, you could have easily written while num1 is equal to num2. अंदर में फिर if, although program is correct, no doubt. Program is absolutely correct. Okay, let me check. Mohit also exactly same. Correct answer. I'll show you my version. Yes. What I have done is num1 equals, I have generated num1 and num2. Then I have used a simple while statement. While equal to num1. So see, this condition will go on executing till this statement will be executing till the time this condition is true. जब तक condition true है तब तक ये execute होता रहेगा. The moment this condition is false, the loop will be exited. Okay, that means we have got a distinct num2, then num3 generated. Okay, while num3 in num1 or num2, that is if num3 is equal to either one of them. Okay, alternatively you can also write this one, but we don't need that. Go on generating num3 till this condition is true. The moment condition is false, you can simply print the numbers. So I'll just run this. 3 students selected are these. You can see their roll numbers. Every time I run the program, 3 distinct roll numbers are chosen. So your program is also correct. It will also work, but you don't need while true and then within that. It doesn't make sense. Okay, while true, आप लिख रहे हो and then you are using an if statement and then an else or elif statement. So we don't need so much of complexity in our program. We can easily do it, but no doubt your program is also absolutely correct. It will also give the correct answer. But when you are printing the output, Mohit, just a sec. Yes, Mohit and Pradyum, both of you, when you are printing the output, user will keep wondering what is this, what are these 3 numbers. So at least you should give a proper message. The 3 roll numbers generated are. Okay. So although yes, I agree that the time was less, so you had to do it. No worries, but whenever you are writing such a program, please provide a proper statement. Okay, so I hope this program was clear to you, and now you should be able to solve programs, write programs like these. Let's take
Ma'am,
on. Yes.
ma'am, in this program, there were more digits to be selected. Like here, it were only 3. But in case there are 20 or 25, then wouldn't this program be
One second.
inefficient?
1 second. 1 second. 20 or 25, right?
Yeah,
Okay. You have to generate 20 or 25 random numbers.
yeah, in a small range. Then won't it?
But what you can do is you can generate numbers, you can generate all 25 numbers, okay, and you can store them in a list, and then you can check for or you can use a set for that. What a set does is it automatically removes all the duplicates. So suppose out of 25 numbers, 6 or 7 numbers or 5 numbers were duplicates, so they are removed. Now what you have to do, you just have to generate these 5 more numbers. थोड़ा complicated तो होगा, जितने random numbers आप generate करोगे उतने आपको check तो करना पड़ेगा ना whether it is duplicate number. We won't do it with this method. We will be using some data structure for that. We would be using lists or tuples, or we would be using sets for that, because sets have a property that is they automatically remove all the duplicate values. And till the time the set has, my set has the required number of elements, I will use a loop for generating the numbers. Okay, till the time my set has a required number of element, I will continue generating numbers. So that way my code will be simple.
Okay, ma'am.
Understood? So you
Yes,
can do this. You can implement it this way, right? Now, because this was a small, simple program where we had to only generate 3 random numbers, right?
yes, ma'am.
Next is another question, and this is again the option elimination question. Take a look. Consider the following code. The code is given to you. Find the suggested output options 1 to 4. Find this output options. That means your program can contain more than, your answer could be more than one correct option. Okay. Also write the least value and highest value. Such a program always comes for 2 marks in your board exam. Okay. So please do practice such questions very well. Now let's do this. You have 4 print statements, as you can see. After every print statement, that is for the first 3 print statements, you have end equals space. That means once this number is printed, there would be a space, and after that the next number will be printed. Now this end has not been given to the last print statement because we don't need to print anything after that, or whatever is printed, it should be printed on the next line. Now, first we start with random, which will generate any number between 0 and 1.0 multiplied by 5. So this will be 0.0 only, and it will be stretched to 5.0, right? Plus 20. So 20.0, and here it will be 25.0. So now I have already given you this part of the solution. You have to find the correct output options. You have to find the least value and the highest value. Already least value and highest value are calculated. Least value is 20.0, highest value is 25.0. So half of the question I have already solved. You have to figure out the correct output options. Do it quickly and tell me. जल्दी बताओ, फटाफट बताते जाओ. Is the first option applicable?
No, ma'am.
No.
Third and fourth.
One, Pradyum, just wait. At least let everybody give their answers, no? Why? Give me the reason. First one. Why first one is not applicable here?
25 is not included.
Yes, very good. 25 will not be included, although first 3 values are included. So we will reject this output. Second one, still we will reject it because it also contains 25. Next one.
It's correct.
It's correct because all the values are within this range. Okay, Aishwarya Srivastav, this one, fourth one. You can give me your answer through chat. Aishwarya, no one else will answer. And you have to give me the reason also. It is generating 21 4 times. 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 21 Can it be considered as the correct option? Yes, very good, Aishwarya. She gave the correct answer. This is also included. So you have two options, 3 and 4. And the mark distribution is 1 mark for this and 1 mark for giving the least and the highest value. Either one is false, you get half marks for each. Okay. I'm sending the screenshot of this also. So these are HOTS, that is higher order thinking skill questions. अब एक अच्छा वाला क्वेश्चन देते हैं आप लोगों को, इसमें खूब दिमाग लगाना है, right? First, take your time and read the question. What are the possible outcomes? Again, outcomes, that is more than one correct options are there. Expected from the following code. Also specify the maximum and minimum values that can be assigned to the variable picker. So first step is import random. First we will execute this. I will help you with this. Please solve along with me, right? Because in between I will ask you questions also. So I hope your copies are ready with you. So please keep your copies there with you only. Okay. Pick equals random.randint. Come on, tell me what should be the range of pick. Chirag Tripathi. What should be the range of pick? N is in between. Chirag, yes. Chirag, Anshika, Aishwarya.
Ma'am, it's 0 to 3.
Yes, 0 to 3 will be generated. Okay, because 0 and 3 is given. Next is there is a list city which contains 4 city names. So I'll simply provide them indices 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now for in city. So we will start with I. Okay. First value for I will be what? First
0.
value for I will be, answer is it is for I in city for variable in collection variant of for loop. So first value will be Delhi. Okay, यहाँ range function use नहीं किया है. Okay, we have not used any range function here. We have used what? The name. We have used this for variable in collection format. Okay, so first value will be Delhi. So first one I will solve and then we'll continue this in our next class, right? There is an inner for loop nested for, that is for j in range 1 comma pick. Now pick can take any four values 0 1 2 3. तो मुझे चारों के लिए चेक करना पड़ेगा. I have to check when pick is equal to 0. What should be the value of j? Will j take any valid value, because the starting value is 1 and the ending value is 0. So this will not execute. The first one for pick equals 0. I will check for pick equals 1. Okay. Pick equals 1. 1 से लेके 1 तक नहीं चलेगा, because 1 is the start value, 1 is the end value, and you already know that range function doesn't consider the end value. So it should always be 1 less, 1 more than this value, right? So again here also j will not execute. Then next is pick equals 2. Now J will take a value that is 1 because starting value is 1 and ending value is 2. Where 2 is not included, so 1 will be considered. And what is written there? Print I. So what should be printed for this? Delhi. एक बार print हुआ and then end equals space. That is if this inner loop executes more than once, whatever is there, it will be written with a space after that. Okay. In the options, they should have given a space in between every city name. Okay, please mark that because we have end equals white space character. So एक ही बार चलना था इस loop को, so the loop terminates and we come to the next statement that is print. Hence a new line is created. अब जो भी print होगा next line पे होगा, right? So we again now go back for I in city. Now the next city is what? Mumbai. So we will continue this. You can solve it in your copy and you can share your answers and we will continue its discussion in the next class. Although I have okay, they have already given me the answer. Yes, correct answer, Chirag. And Mohit is and the fourth one.
Ma'am, I think it will be printed for peak equals
First
to
one is
2 also.
correct. First one is correct. It should be first and third, not first and fourth. We will see why. Okay, in the next class. And also you can see the offline lecture also. In that also I have discussed it. Okay.
Ma'am, what about the practical marks?
Practical marks you will directly get it in your report card. You will be getting an e-report card. So never practical papers. Do you get practical papers in school? नहीं मिलते ना स्कूल में. So you directly get the marks in your report card. Got it?
Okay, ma'am.
Depending upon all the documentation which you have submitted, you will get the marks. If you have submitted project video also, you have, although I know that you have submitted, your entire group has submitted. So you have, if you have submitted your project video, your files, okay, everything, you will definitely get your marks. Okay. So that's it. I stopped the